Hi guys, welcome back to Pride Parkway. Something a little bit different, a little break from the usual layout updates. I'm sure you've seen all over YouTube and Facebook, lots of people have been raving about these hunt couplings. So I'm kind of going to jump on the bandwagon, but I'm also not, because if you're a modeler like me, you're probably sick of the sight of videos of them. However, these are the N Gauge version. They've been out for less than a week. I managed to pick up a couple of packets, although they seem to be constantly sold out at the moment. And I thought I would do not necessarily a review, but a quick look at them to see what they're like. So I managed to get 2 packets. They were the last 2 that were available earlier in the week. They arrived this morning and I thought, let's just have a little play, let's see what they're like. So at the moment they're offering 2 different types in N Gauge. The first is for your NEM couplings and the second one is for the spring couplings. Now I didn't think I had any rolling stock that had the spring couplings, otherwise I would have ordered them. However, I've just discovered that all of my Graham Farish Mark IVs are all spring or sprung. And if I just focus the camera in there, you can see the spring. So I'm assuming the sprung versions are for these kinds of coaches. So when I next order some, I will order a pack of them and give them a trial. Now, if you're a regular here at Pride Parkway, you will know trains that I run a lot of are Class 43s. My layout is loosely based on the East Coast Main Line, and therefore I like to run a lot of Class 43s. I model an N Gauge. The reason I model an N Gauge is because of the fact that I'm so loving of the Class 43. I wanted to be able to run full rakes, and I wanted to have a station that would be big enough to take a full rake and nice sweeping curves. So I've got a loft layout, approximately 5 meters by 2.5 meters, and it allows me to run big N Gauge trains. So right in front of us in Pride Parkway Station, I have got 2 HSTs. I've got my original blue grey, and then I've got an Intercity Swallow, and behind that, out of era, I have got a Dapol Class 66 in GBRF livery. So what I'm going to do is show you. I'm going to pull out the blue grey one. Power car is pulling on this, and I'm going to send that off around the layout, and 99.5% of the time this will go all the way around the layout and it'll arrive back in the station still in one piece. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Mark IIIs. It's the Dapol book set with 8 Mark IIIs. And just while that's going around, a really annoying thing you may well have noticed as it went by, the roof of the 2 coaches that came in the book set are a different colour to all the other roofs for the matching coaches from Dapol. It really annoys me. So that's going to be a little project of mine at some point in the future, will be to take off all them roofs and repaint them so that they're all the same colour. So far so good. It's about halfway around the layout. Speed it up a little bit, and I still have a full train. If I just move the camera around, you can just about see it going by there. And it's going to come back into the scenic area just at the bottom there by the TMD, and it's going to make its way back into the station, and like magic I still have a full train. So apologies for the brunt stopping the running there. So happy days. Now what I've got here is exactly the same train in a different livery. I believe it's also a coach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 as well. And this one causes me nothing but problems. Now, bearing in mind, it's exactly the same as the one you've just seen. Okay, so one slight difference, I've got it at the moment on the inside track, so therefore it's the tightest radius. But my radiuses, if I pick the camera up, are not that tight. In N Gauge. So this is all code 55 Pico track, so it's the most, don't know how, what you want to call it, realistic, most annoying sometimes. But if there's going to be a problem, you're going to probably have a problem with the code 55. So let me get the swallow moving and see if we can get it to do a full loop. Now this probably less than 50% of the time does a full loop as a solid train, and it's probably going to work because I'm making a video, but let's set it off. So again, I've got the power car pulling, a little bit of, and there we go. Hasn't even made it out of the station. Tends to be the same coaches on it, does it all the time. Of course, if I reverse it and have the power car pushing, then I don't have that problem. But if I just pull that back, so I'm going to show how clear it is on the camera, but train, and let me just bring it back, and you can see it coming back towards us, and we will recouple it. So these are all NEM, which makes them really simple to change. I've got a different coach here in front of me, but it's the same. It's a Dapol MK3 HST coach, and all you should have to do, you can see the coupling on the end there, is just pull it very gently, and it just springs out like that. Now, apologies, the camera's not focusing terribly well, but that's it. Just pull it out it comes, and all I should have to do with the new couplings is just push them in like that. Now you can see what size the standard couplings are that come with this. They're pretty big. And let me open this packet of Hunt couplings and let's compare them size wise. Now, I'm not going to edit this video, so apologies. I wanted to say just to be a quick video, so it's going to be just the way it is. So we've got 10 sets of couplings in here, and they look pretty small to me. I mean, the camera's struggling to focus on them, that's how small they are, and they seem pretty strong as well. So what I'm going to do is I am going to stop the video, take off this HST, change all the couplings to the Hunt couplings, and then I will come back to you. Okay, so I'm about halfway through this, and I'm impressed so far. They are good. One thing that I will point out, this is the same as the double gauge ones. I'd only recommend these personally for fixed rakes. Now this is a HST, it's always going to be a fixed rake. The one thing I'm finding is this is really fiddly to do in N gauge, and I'm having problems. Now where you can see on this one here, magnet, normal NEM. Now these are spring loaded, so they move around your corners nice and easy. What I'm finding is it's quite hard to hold it and do it. I've just tried taking out the wheels, which just pull out as simple as that. Then putting my thumb behind the NEM pocket, pulling it out like that, and that seems to make the job much easier. Again, keep your thumb behind it to hold it in place. Pop it in. This is really hard to show you on camera because they're so small, and they do have a tendency to go in lopsided if you're not careful. Like this one's doing it quite bad, so it's just a case of taking them out and persevering with it. Now this one's been a real pain. That's it. That's it in, and then just pop your wheels back on. That way, check it's the right side yet, is much easier than trying to do it with the wheels in place, because I'm finding that this little bit here, the NEM socket, is just going down under the wheels or wedging. So yeah, take the wheels off, put your thumb behind it, let me crack on, let me get the rest of these done. Okay, so that's them all done and all getting back on the track. Now, two things I can confirm. One, they are very close coupling. I will show you a photo side by side. Right now I will insert a picture, and you can see there, compared to the standard couplings, just how much closer they are. And the second thing I can confirm is they're absolutely magnetic, and the sound of that click makes me smile. Just watch as I push that closer, just like that. So just checking we all look right, and we do. Where am I at? Local 42. So we've got the power car at that end, so it's going to be pulling just the same as it was before. Dummy cars at this end, and I have used, just as an FYI, 9 of the 10 on that rake there. 7 coaches plus the power car and dummy, so that's used 9. Let's see if we can get any further than that first corner. So I'm not going to go too fast, because if these come apart it tends to be at slow speed, so I'm on speed step 4 on the Prodigy Advance, and we've already got further than we did in the last video. And just stand here looking at them, you probably won't be able to see this on the camera, but they are so close. Just going to speed it up a little bit, up to 6. I just move that camera around so you can see it come by, hopefully. Just about make it out. Actually, let me just move the camera. It's looking good. Let's head back over to the station. Oh, we've just had a derailment. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, so I've had about 10 minutes of it being sorry to swear, but it was just kept derailing, and I've never had a problem with derailments. But I basically took each of the coaches off, had a little wiggle around with the NEM sockets, made sure everything's loose when the springs are all moving around fine, and it seems to have done the trick. And where it is, or what should I say, where it was uncoupling was near points, but it's just done, hopefully, a full loop. It's just pulling back into the station now. Yep, it's in a full loop and it seems to be working okay. So I am going to leave that running, and while that's running I'm going to have a look at the train you can see on the back tracks. That is my Class 66, and attached to that is 11 HYA hopper wagons, and this runs really well. It's got the standard NEM couplings on at the moment. Now when I say this runs pretty well, it runs pretty well with up to 8 of these hoppers on. Once I get above 8, it does have the tendency to decouple itself. So I'm going to attempt to swap out these couplings, leave this HST running around, and then I will come back to you. Okay, so the HST is still going around. I'm really pleased with it. Definitely happy with these. They look fantastic. They're doing the job. Took a little bit of tinkering with, and I think that's just because the spring-loaded couplings on these Dapol Mark 3s can be a little bit temperamental, but once I've had a little play with them all, I did have to take the bottom off one of the coaches and have a play with it, but it's working absolutely fine and it looks really good. And as I say, I have these as fixed rakes, so I'm really happy with them. Now, the R close coupling, it does say close on there, and I've tried to connect them to these HOAs. Luckily I only did 2. Put them on with a Class 66 and it derailed on the first corner. I just got buffer lock. I mean, that's how much play there is. You can see that. So I shall await hopefully the next version of these to come out, and when the next version comes out, hopefully they'll be slightly longer, and they'll be made for these, and I without a doubt will buy them. The good news is I've got enough at the moment to convert both my Intercity Swallow and my GNER Class 43, so I will get both of them done, and I will, when more of these become available, I will buy some more and I will include them in my monthly updates. I hope you enjoyed the video. As I say, I haven't seen anybody else review these yet. They've been out for less than a week in N Gauge, and I'm really happy with that. I would have no hesitation in adding them to any Dapol high-speed train, and I think there's quite a lot of people got the Class 43 from Dapol. There's a whole load more of them coming out this year under different guises as well, so I'm sure these will prove to be very popular. As always guys, thanks for your support, thanks for following along with Pride Parkway, and I will be back soon with a layout update. Take care of yourselves, bye bye.